Okay. All right. So welcome. So I'm thinking this is a good week to work on forgiveness. Yeah. And how liberating forgiveness can be. And it's a difficult concept because we always think of it as condoning what somebody does, and it is not what that is at all. What it is letting go of your resentment, your anger, whatever you're carrying around from something that happened in a relationship or that went wrong, so that you are not a prisoner of whatever may have happened. You can free yourself. And we'll, as the week goes by, we'll get more into it. And but now let's think about the purging of our own anger and resentment, letting it go, letting it all go, so that we could uncover our true selves, who we really are, which is love. So close your eyes, come inside, and focus on your breath. Notice your breath as you inhale. Feel that life force, feel the new energy entering your body. And when you exhale, let go of everything that gets in your way. Let it all go. Let go of the toxins, both physical and mental. Let them go. And continue in this way at your own pace, inhaling energy and new life. Exhale, letting go, just letting go. After your next exhale, return to your natural breath and open your eyes. And we'll begin with our side body stretches. So let's start on the right side, lifting your left arm, bending your right elbow, and reaching with your fingers to the wall on the right. Feel the stretch from your hip to your fingertips. Feel that long stretch. One of the things we tend to do when we do our side body stretches, and you could look at me for just a moment, there's a tendency to fold in. So rather than folding in, you want to open up. You're opening up your heart. Open up. Inhale, and then on an exhale, place your left hand forward of your right knee. Bring both hands to parallel. You have straight arms. You're looking forward with a nice flat back. Inhale, and then exhale, bend your elbows and fold. When you bend your elbows, they reach toward your waist, so they're not going out to the sides, they're going back. Inhale, straight arms. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, straight arms. Bend your elbows and fold. Come up on straight arms. Slide your fingers to your right knee, left hand on right knee. And swing your right arm back behind you, using it as support at your back. Right. And look over your right shoulder. When you inhale, allow your spine to get longer, crown of your head reaching up. And when you're empty of breath, think about twisting a little bit more. Bring your left hand to your right thigh. Lift your right arm, and let's do a side stretch in the opposite direction. Bring both arms up to center. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers, knuckles to the earth. Open up your heart, little baby back bend. Deep inhale, and on an exhale, hinge from your hip joints all the way over your legs, any amount. It could be a little, it could be a couple of inches, it could be a whole foot, it could be your nose all the way to the floor. And then slowly unfold. Release your arms. Left hand out to the side, right arm alongside right ear, side body stretch to the left. Again, open up your heart so you don't collapse in. Open up. And feel that stretch a little bit more. Bend your left elbow to keep your shoulder away from your ear. Inhale, and then on an exhale, place your right hand forward of your left knee, parallel arms. Look forward, flat back. Inhale, exhale, bend your elbows and fold. Inhale, straight arms. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, straight arms. Slide your hands to your knee, right hand on left knee. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Place your right hand on your left thigh, left arm alongside left ear. Side stretch to the wall on the right. Bring both arms up alongside your ears and send your arms back behind you. Place your hands on the mat behind you, fingers pointing forward. This time a little bit deeper back bend. You're going to open up your heart. Send your nose to the sky. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a sigh out through your mouth. Let's do that twice more. Inhale through the nose. And on the third time, you'll breathe in, and on your exhale, you're going to fold over your legs any amount. And then slowly unfold. So welcome, welcome Jane and Dallas to our classroom. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your hands on to your shins. Now, I'm always talking about blocks, right? And I'm always trying to get you to get some. So there are blocks behind you if you want them in here. But here's another good way of using them. You can also use a pillow or a blanket. So if your knees don't go down to the mat, which they probably won't, this is a good way to, and it feels uncomfortable to have them open like this. The blocks can help, right? So hands on your shins. Inhale, send your heart forward. You're curling your back into a C shape. On an exhale, switch the curve of your back, creating a C shape in the opposite direction, a cat spine. Inhale, send your heart forward, bend your elbows. That will help you. And with your hands on your knees, gives you a little bit more leverage to send your heart forward. And then continue this action back and forth at your own pace. But think about how beautifully your spine just changes shape for you. How your spine undulates. You can go as slow as you wish. And feel your shoulder blades spreading apart when you're in your cat. And when you're tipping forward, they kind of kiss almost. All right. And then when you're in your cat next, pause and come up to sit. So now you have the soles of your feet together. And what I'm going to ask you to do is send them a little farther away, like you have this big diamond. Yeah? Okay. And again, if you want to have blocks underneath your knees, you can do that, or a blanket. So what we're going to do is a pose called Baddha Konasana, which is bound angle pose. We're going to do it gradually. So the first thing you want to do is flap your little butterfly wings. Flap them and pause. Then you're going to stand nice and tall, your hands on your shins. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, send your fingers forward and come forward with a flat back as far as you can. When you've gone as far as you can with a flat back, then you can curve it toward your legs, coming over your legs any amount. You can use your elbows, hook your elbows around your shins to help you a little bit. And perhaps that'll help you get down. Yeah, good, excellent. And then gently unfold, come back up to sit. So what we're going to do next is bring our legs in a little bit more. So they're still not all the way to our hips, but they're maybe halfway there. And butterfly your legs again so that we get our hip joints nice and juiced up. Pause. And we're going to do the same thing. You're going to start with a nice flat back, send your arms forward, inhale, exhale, come forward with a flat back. Inhale, exhale, come forward a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, now come over your legs any amount. Again, hook your elbows onto your shins and see how far you can come down. It could be just a little bit. It could be a lot. Depends on your body, depends on how you're feeling this evening. And then slowly unfold. All right, one more time. You're going to bring your heels as close to your hips as is comfortable and do your little butterfly. I'm watching a little ant come toward my mat. So I'm going to ask it to leave, go away. Okay. And all right. And we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Nice straight flat back, hands forward, not on your feet. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, come down over your legs. Any amount. You are probably feeling this in your inside thigh muscles, your adductors. Yeah. So I'm feeling it anyway. And then you can bring your hands to a prayer in front of your feet. So you have this double pyramid shape. And then inhale and come all the way up, extend your legs and shake them out. Right. So one of the things I wanted us to work on tonight is different ways of getting into a pigeon pose. So we do it most of the time from downward facing dog. And you could do this with me now if you are used to doing this way. So come to down dog, lift your right leg, bend your knee, and bring your knee outside your right wrist and slide your left leg back behind you. So this is one way of doing it. It is the most classic way of doing it. Right? But it's awkward. Unless you have nice open hips, unless you're able to, it's not that easy a pose to do. So we're going to try it another way. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do it. That was my left side that I just did. So do this with me, all right? So you're going to lift your left leg. We're going to do the left side now. You're going to bend your knee. You're going to open up your hip by sending your knee to the sky, your right heel towards the mat. So you open up your hip a little bit and then square your hip with the mat. And instead of coming directly into a pigeon, you're going to step your left foot forward. And you could do that in 1, 2, 3 steps, as many steps as you need. All right. Place your right knee on the mat. Heel toe your left foot to the right side of the mat. Place your left knee onto the mat. And there you are in pigeon. Send your right leg all the way back behind you. Place your hands in front of your left leg. Maybe you'll come down on your forearms just to relax a little bit. You know, some of you may be saying, how do you relax in this pose? Well, one of the ways you can do that is by evening off your hips. So you can put a blanket underneath your hip. That's good. So that it feels more comfortable. All right. So now come up onto straight arms, turn under your right toes, lift your knee away from the mat, and swing your left leg all the way up to the sky for a 3-limb dog. Then bring your foot back down to the mat. All right. So we didn't do that on the right side. We're going to need to do it on the right side this time. Let's come to down dog. Right. So while we're in down dog this time, think about your dog. Think about perfecting your dog. So your chest is coming towards your thighs. Your heels are coming towards the mat. You're isometrically pushing the mat away from you with your hands. Long flat back.
And now walk your dog. Bend one knee and bring the other heel to the mat, and then alternate. And when you're bringing your heel towards the mat, the opposite leg from the knee that is bent, feel the backs of your legs opening up. All right, come back to your dog. Lift your left leg, open it up. Or did we do this on the other side? So whichever side you did before, do the other one, sorry. And you're going to square your hips off, step your leg forward. In my case, it's my right knee. So you might be doing the opposite one. Heel toe your left foot to the edge of the mat. Bring your knee to the mat. Place your hands in front of your shin and slide your leg back behind you. Come on to your forearms and think about putting a block or a blanket underneath that hip to square. And the other reason I like to do that is because it helps to keep your spine long and straight, because back here is our sacrum, right? Which connects our pelvis, and there's a joint, the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, which only moves a certain way. And if we twist it a little too much, we're putting too much pressure on it. So it would be good to keep our hips nice and long, flat to the mat, with a little help from a blanket. All right, straight arms, turn under your toes, lift your knee away from the mat, 3-limb dog. Bring your knee back down, your foot back down, bring your knees back down, bring your hips to your heels, come to child's pose. Okay, so since we're working on pigeon, you're going to send your legs out in front of you, right? You're going to bring your right foot to the mat, your knee to your chest. You're going to place your right ankle on your left thigh, your left feet to the ceiling. Going to take your foot and your knee in your hand. I recommend your hand underneath your knee. And you can use your left leg, bringing it into your chest to bring your pigeon leg. Here's your pigeon leg, right in front of you. And maybe you can wrap your arms around it. If not, just hold it like that, either way. And then extend your left leg and then rock that pigeon leg back and forth, and then come to center. So look at this. When we're doing this again, the next time we come to pigeon, this is where your leg will be. It may not be, your foot may not be up this high. It might be down a little bit more, but this is the respective distance, the respective position of your leg to your chest. All right. All right, and pause and send your leg out in front of you. Take the outside of your right foot. And your knees bent. You're going to come to make sure you're up on your sits bones, mountain spine. Your left hand is on the mat. Maybe you'll straighten your right leg. And then whether it's bent or straight, you're going to send it out to the right. And maybe you'll float your left arm. That's a maybe, right? And then bring it back to center, bring your leg back to center, switch the holding of your leg with your opposite hand, left hand on outside of right foot, your right arm to the mat. And maybe your leg is bent, whether it's bent or straight, you're going to send it across the center line. And place your foot on the mat, the outside of your left leg, and wrap your left arm around your leg for a twist. Look over your right shoulder. You're going to bring your right arm to your right ear, and you're going to turn on an exhale for a counter twist in the opposite direction. So you can stay right here and enjoy this nice twist, or you can take your right foot, send it away from your left thigh. Yes, yes. And use your right arm as your propeller. You're going to lift your hips, and before you do it, so the goal here is to lift your hips to come up into a supported side plank. So make sure your right foot is far enough away so that when you get up, you'll have a right angle. So your bottom leg could be bent a little bit. That will help you come up. So swing your arm, come up on to the outside edge of your left foot. Beautiful. Right. And right angle with your right knee. And then bring it down. All right. Let's do the other side. Bring your left knee in to your chest. Right leg is straight and active, foot is flexed. Place your ankle on your right thigh. Bring your leg a little closer by bending your right knee, bringing that leg closer or not, and take hold of your pigeon leg. So you'll extend your right leg, come onto your sits bone. So don't lean back, come straight up because you have all this weight in your hands. And then once again, we've been doing a lot of opening up our hip, and we need to do that, right? Because we want beautiful pigeons. And come to center. Take the outside of your left foot, take hold of it, right foot on the mat, right angle with your, did I say right arm? So left arm. Did I say right? Oh, left hand to the outside of right foot. So that leads me to believe that I said the wrong thing since both of you were doing the opposite. So, all right. So everyone, you're going to straighten your left leg, right? Or not, you can keep it bent. And send it out to the side. Let your right arm float. Good. That's it. Bring it to center, your leg to center. Switch the holding, right hand on the outside of left foot. Left leg on the left arm on the mat. And send your leg across the center line. You're going to place your left foot outside your right thigh, wrap your right arm around, around your left leg, look over your left shoulder. Lift your left arm alongside your left ear. And
twist on an exhale for a counter twist, coming to the other side. Now, once again, you can stay here. You don't have to do the side plank, but if you would like to, it's a supported side plank. You're going to step your left foot far enough away from your right thigh so that when you come up, you're at that right angle. So your bottom leg is already on the outside edge of that leg. So you're already in position. Lift your hips and come into your side plank. And then bring it down. And release. Come to center. All right. Let's come to a child's pose. Extend your arms overhead on the mat for an extended child's pose. On an inhale, lift your hips, bring your heart between your arms, lengthen your legs behind you. Inhale, and then on an exhale, send your hips back toward your heels. On an inhale, come back forward again. Long legs behind you. So push into the mat. You want to make sure your shoulders aren't shrugging up. You're using your core muscles, your abs, to keep you from sagging towards the mat. You're going to turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Your shoulders are over your wrists, your heels are reaching back behind you. Nice long straight line from the crown of your head to your heels. Bring your knees to the mat. Child's pose. Good, excellent. All right. Arms extended again. This time you're going to lift your hips and come to stand on your knees. Right. Right. Okay. Bring your hands to your hips. Now you're holding on to your pelvis, right? Your hip bones. And what we're going to do is twist to the right without moving our hips. So you're twisting from the waist. You're going to inhale, exhale, twist. You're not going to go that far. You're going to twist to the right. Inhale to center, exhale to the opposite side. Keep those hips straight. Inhale to center, release your arms. Step your right foot forward. So we're going to work on our quads and our hamstrings. So walk your right foot a little bit farther away, right? Heel toe it away. So the farther away that right foot is, the more of a stretch you're going to get in your quads. So you have to find the sweet spot. You know, there's such a thing as going too far and then not enough, so that there's no stretch. Send your arms back behind you. On an inhale, raise your arms, slide your hips forward like you were reaching for the back of your right calf with your right hip, with both hips. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Straighten your right leg, bow over your leg to stretch those hamstrings. Inhale, lift and slide forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Bring your hands to the mat. And notice the familiarity of this pose. You're going to heel toe your foot over to the left side of your mat. Place your right knee on the mat. Bring your hands in front of your shin. Slide your left leg back behind you. Pad your hip if you need to, if you wish to. Feels good. And then come down for a reclining pigeon. Come up onto straight arms. Turn under your left toes, lift your left knee away from the mat. Slide your right leg back for a three-legged dog. Bring your foot to the mat. Step your left foot forward. And again, you could do that in 1, 2, 3 steps. Help it with your hand. And bring your right knee to the mat. Come up to stand on your right knee. Arms streaming back behind you. Inhale, slide your hip forward. Exhale, fold over your left leg, bow down over your leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Once more, exhale. Inhale, come up to stand on your leg. Bring your hands to the mat, heel toe your foot to the right of the mat. Bring your left knee down to the mat. Place your hands in front of your shin. Slide your right leg back behind you. This is turning out to be a pigeon workshop, right? So come onto your forearms and fold. But again, use a blanket, use blocks to make this pigeon pose comfortable. It shouldn't be a strain. It should not be uncomfortable. It should be easy to come down, or as easy as your body will allow. Come up onto straight arms. Turn under your right toes. Lift your knee from the mat and send your left leg for a three-legged dog. Bring your left foot to the mat. You're in your dog, your downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And you're gonna walk your feet to your hands. Just walk them and hang over in Uttanasana, forward fold. Take opposite elbows and just swing from side to side. You can involve your hips if you like. You can make it just your shoulders that swing, whatever feels good. Release your arms and then gently unfold. Make it slow. Make your head the last body part to come up. And come up to stand, right? Right, so we're going to do a flow with a pigeon in it. However, you're going to choose how you want to come into your pigeon. So we're going to do this really slowly. And so just to refresh your memory, we suggested two different ways, or I suggested two different ways, where we come in from downward facing dog, going directly to pigeon, or we're in down dog. So just watch me for a second. So I might tell you now to lift your hip and come to pigeon. But what you could do instead is lift your leg, step it forward, bring your knee to the mat, and come to your pigeon from that low lunge with your knee to the mat rather than directly from down dog. So it's your choice, all right? So let's start in mountain pose. So come into your mountain, crown of your head reaching up for the heavens, your feet rooted to the earth. Send your arms out and up, and bring your prayer to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. All right. Inhale, exhale, fold over your legs. You can soften your knees as you wish. Inhale halfway to a flat back, crown of your head moving forward, sits bones moving back behind you. Your hands can be on your shins or your thighs or streaming alongside your hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, send your right leg back behind you. Place your right hand under your right shoulder. Place your left hand on your left thigh. And you're going to twist now. Twist your so that your belly button comes to reach your thigh, or you're going in that direction. So try to keep your hips from jutting out to the side. So you're sending your belly button to your thigh, and then maybe you'll then send your arm up to the sky. Bring your left hand down. Come into your low lunge again. Yeah. Step your left leg back to downward facing dog. So we're going to come to our pigeon now. So it's your choice. You could step directly into pigeon, or you can go to low lunge to pigeon. So you're going to lift your leg first, either way, bend your knee and step forward, either directly to pigeon or to low lunge, and then pigeon. So your knee comes down. Jane, your left knee comes down first to the mat. Yeah. Otherwise, it's very awkward. So first thing, when you come to low lunge, and I didn't say that, bring your knee to the mat. So you should be all nice and loose for this pigeon. Yeah, good. And come into your reclining pigeon. Come to straight arms. Turn under your left toes. Let's do this slowly. Lift your left knee away from the mat and send your right leg back behind you. You can go directly to down dog or come to a 3-limbed dog with your right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee. Step it forward.
place your left foot flat on the mat. Now look down at your feet, make sure your hip isn't sticking out on one side or the other. Yeah. And you're in warrior one leg. So look down at your feet. They're in their own lane. You're going to send your arms streaming alongside your hips, and you're going to reach down to the earth and pull your warrior up out from the earth. Heel toe your foot a little bit forward if you'd like a wider warrior one. So I'm going to stop for a second, because when I say wider, I'm talking about sending your legs farther away from each other, but that's not good for everybody. Some people need a shorter one, you know, with their legs closer to each other. So you pick what works for you. Inhale, look up to your prayer. Exhale, Anjali Mudra to your heart. Inhale, send your arms back behind you. Extend your arms. Exhale, fold over your thigh. Inhale again. Exhale, maybe you'll come inside your leg or not. It's an option. Press your feet into the mat and slowly unfold. Release your arms. Step your left foot forward to meet your right. Bend your knees, fold over Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay. All right, we have to do that on the other side. All right. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg goes back. Left hand under left shoulder. Square those hips off. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. And twist belly button towards thigh. So what's most important in this pose is the twist, not sending your arm up to the sky. And you want your arm to come straight out from your shoulder. So if I'm twisted this much, then my arm can go straight up. But if I'm here, then my arm should only go here. You don't want to send your arm back behind your shoulder blade. You know, a little bit too much on your joint. All right. Place your hands down on the mat. Send your right leg back, downward facing dog. We go into our pigeon. So again, if you choose to go from low lunge, be sure to put your right knee on the mat before you swivel your foot. So lift your leg. In fact, I'm going to do it that way on this side. Lift your leg, bend your knee, step your foot forward, bring your knee to the mat, and heel toe your foot to the edge of the mat to come in to your pigeon. And now you can just rest for a while. And again, I cannot emphasize enough to use blankets in this pose especially to help make it a bit more comfortable. We're allowed to cheat. So we're going to end this sequence differently than we did before. So come to straight arms. And then roll over onto your left thigh, your left hip. Just roll over onto your left hip. And you can bend your right knee or keep it straight and swing it all the way around to step on your right foot in front of your left leg. And then you're going to step your left foot on the mat. All right. You're going to bring your hands underneath your thighs. Come onto your toes. Going to do Navasana, the boat pose. So you're going to hold on to your thighs, lift one leg, then the other, or you can lift just one, right? You can stay here, or you can straighten your legs, whatever you like. You can release your arms and then straighten your legs, or you can stay with your legs bent. You can keep your hands on your thighs, whatever works for you in this pose so that you can feel it. Feel the pose. And then release it, putting one shin in front of the other. Now you're going to do this slowly and carefully. You're going to lift your hips, bring one hand in front of the other in front of your knees. Send your left leg back, the leg that was in the back behind you. Your right leg back for a downward facing dog. And then you'll walk your feet to your hands. Fold over. And you're going to stay down. In this forward fold, bring one knee down to the mat, bring the other, and come to sit with your legs straight out in front of you. And if you have a block or a blanket, have it handy. Because what we're going to do is come into an inversion, a gentle inversion. So begin to walk your hands back, come onto your forearms, and bring your body all the way down flat on the mat. Bring your feet to the mat. If you have a block or a blanket, lift your hips and place it underneath your sacrum. That's right below your waist. And then send one leg up to the sky and the other for a supported legs up the wall, Viparina Karani. And imagine that your legs and your hips are up against a wall. So position your legs accordingly so that they shouldn't be coming too close to your nose or too far away. They're up against an invisible wall. And then relax your arms. Just relax them anyway. It could be overhead, out to the side. Just relax. And allow this inversion to totally cool you off. Good. I'm going to stay here for about another half a minute or so. You could stay even longer if you like. But you can come out of this at any time you wish. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat, lift your hips if you have something underneath, and make your way into Shavasana. So your legs are comfortable, feet splaying open, your arms rotated so that the palms of your hands can reach towards the sky in a giving and receiving mudra. And then follow your breath throughout this Shavasana. Allow your breath to release. Feel your whole body giving way to gravity, connecting with the earth. Just let go. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation and welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. Take a deep breath, exhale, and begin to reawaken your body. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. Send your arms overhead back behind you, your feet in the opposite direction for a full body stretch. Big stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest and hug them and roll from side to side to massage your back. Come to center, release your legs and roll over onto whichever side you prefer to come to a fetal position, the pose of rebirth. And when you're ready, come up to sit. Bring your hands to your heart. And thank you all